So good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm so happy to see you all here in our conference room for today's topic, gender equality. I want you to make one small exercise for a minute. So please close your eyes and think about CEO. Imagine a CEO.
The CEO.
CEO, executive, high-level executive.
Okay.
And now you're imagining a nurse. And now we imagine an engineer.
I know where she's going with this.
So now open your eyes. Everyone is awake, okay? So small exercise. So if I ask you, imagining CEO, who did you imagine? Male? If I ask you, you imagine a nurse, it was a female?
Nice.
And now engineer. So who was that? Male? Most of us are thinking engineer as a male. So why do you think is that happening? So considering as per the Fortune 500, we have only 26 females in the chair, executive level, which makes 5.2% only based on the female population of the global. 10% across the board level are females, and only 4% are chairs across the board, taken by females. So I want to ask our gentlemen here, what do you think, what is that one thing that makes you different from female? What is that advantage or one thing that you consider yourself being greater or more successful? Yes,
The only one I can think of is that probably male is physically stronger.
Okay, physically stronger.
That's the only difference I see.
Anyone else?
Men don't have babies.
And ladies, what do you think, what makes us stand out from men? Is there anything different thing that we are doing, or we are thinking differently, or maybe we're performing differently? Culture.
Yeah.
But it can reflect to men and women, I think both.
Yeah, but we are taught as kids that women should have bigger positions.
So I think everyone can agree that we all have that old school perception that some roles can be taken by females and only those few are taken by males. I want us to look at the nowadays thing happening here. We talk about women empowerment, we talk about women in leadership teams. Look at your own business, at your company, Scarlett. How many females do you have at the high level positions? Really?
Quite a bit.
Who has, reached some high level?
It's quite, maybe 5% of the people that come across are females.
Okay.
Here,
So very few.
Yeah.
Alka, in your company?
In our office, there's 2 women. I'm one of them out of 100.
Too sad, to be honest. So why don't we take all our uniqueness and talents, bring together to the table, to the success of the business, and make 50 plus 50 to make a perfect 100% of success and development. As Sheryl Sandberg said, in the future there will be no female leaders. There will be all leaders. Thank you very much. I think I lost a little bit. It was not structured as per what I wanted to be, but
you followed through, and this is the important part. You kept on talking, but let's start with the feedback with Simone.
So I would challenge that you may feel that you lost some of the structure, but to me it came across as really structured. So
I hope so, but inside I was, oh no, I lost it.
I think the structure was there. I think the exercise brought us together, and really we immediately knew where you were going, and that was really powerful actually. So think that was great. I think that the audience engagement was strong. There was a point where you asked questions, but you didn't leverage it as much. You know, you could have asked the questions, and then you kept on talking with your content. So there was a missed opportunity there, I felt, to work with the answers from the audience in the early stage, and then after the initial questions, that improved as well.
So thank you.
I like the exercise as well. Don't count my hand. And so something I personally try to do as well, you might see that from my presentation, I don't start with good morning or anything, greetings. I try to either build it later on or not using it at all. And specifically in your case, I thought, well, you did the exercise and everyone had their eyes closed and while opening up, that might have been the perfect thing of saying good morning everyone. So I would suggest actually to start with the exercise immediately. Don't start, so that's something I looked at, Toastmaster presentations.
It wasn't planned to be honest, but
No,
it's just...
Because many do, and one of the things they taught on these Toastmaster presentations is start with the story or something, or the exercise in this case, and then if you want to, do the good morning, but you might have met the people in the presentation already. And there was a big chance of, you do the exercise, everyone is kind of sleeping, and then, good morning everyone, and blah blah blah, that's the topic. So that might have been like a good end to connect it all. What I really liked was like the mix of facts and the engagement. So I think that's something I definitely learned from. And yeah, the closing statement for me was, I think, well prepared, but somehow like lost in a way. So it was good that you brought it. But it looked for me like, yeah, okay, you prepared it as a closing thing, and it was no, maybe, let's say the way towards it, I missed a bit. And one thing, okay, it's difficult because knowing the audience is always tricky. So I'm from a company that actually plays very high on gender equality. Our CEO is a female. Our company got awarded in the UAE for gender equality. So when asking questions about the CEO, yeah, okay, I had women in mind. So I may be one of those where it's different. So knowing the audience sometimes might help. It's not a bad point, but just in general.
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much.
But overall, just to bring to positive notes. Again, I really like the engagement. I didn't see that you lost the structure, so I definitely agree to that. So it was good. Maybe when you felt like you lost it, I think you put a pause into it, which gave it like really like, okay, it settled the topic, and then you brought up something else. So I actually like the flow of the overall presentation.
Thank you.
Great. Sean?
Yeah, first, very good. In my opinion, it was very structured as well. I didn't feel at all that it wasn't structured. So it's in your mind, which again refers to the point that you have said that not everybody knows what's going on. So the biggest enemy is ourselves when we present. In that sense, for me, it was very well structured. I loved the exercise in the beginning. It was very interactive. And I didn't know where you were taking us in the beginning. Just when you start the second question, nurse, and then, okay, I knew, but in the beginning it was very, wow, this is good. When we opened our eyes, I was expecting to see on the screen something, just, And this is then when I joined Frank to say, good morning, would have been great, The closing was for me a little bit too dull. It could have been more, giving more, like question or let us thinking about things and how can we make it equal. And again, for me, the last point is that we didn't answer the question, why is gender equality important? It was mainly, from me, you answered the question, where are we today in the gender equality in corporations? That's what but I didn't, you didn't mention the role of the woman in the family, which is super important, the role of the woman today in society, where they bring, you have a lot of issues about socially, things that women can really have an influence role on. So it's,
Okay, great.
Thank you.
Ali?
Yeah, I also felt it was a very good presentation overall. I thought it was very well structured. You knew where you were going with it, and closing our eyes and all. Obviously, I knew where you were going with it, and I still picked men, female, and male again. But because I played along, I think it was very, very well done, very structured, and you were cool. You were natural. Yeah, very good.
Great. Yeah.
Am I the female person?
No, I I forgot to appoint someone, but I did it. But
Okay.
if you did it as well,
I'm not sure I did it very well, but I remember it really.
I know for myself as well how many times
So it was very structured, and it's interesting to say what you said because it was well presented. I loved the exercise. I was surprised that the exercise was different. But like Jean, I didn't feel like she made a case. I didn't feel at the end of the speech that I should go and try to fight for gender equality. You made a case, yes, but I didn't think it was strong enough for call to action. So again, as I said, after the speech, I was like, okay, I didn't feel like I need to do something. So it could be. Thank you.
I think the same. It was very well structured. It had a nice flow. But to Dinah's point, this is a huge topic.
it is.
So the next steps, I mean, it's even controversial. Do you look at women 30% in the workplace in higher ranking positions or whatnot? So I think that needed more exploration, but given the time that you had, it was nicely communicated.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Philip.
I slightly disagree with some of the comments where people said that you didn't address the question. I think the way the questions that you asked in the presentation really drove home the point that I have stereotypes, which, especially as a father of 2 young girls, that's not something that I want to see. So I actually thought it was quite impactful from that perspective. I really like that you. I was also trying to hear if you used ums and all these, and I didn't pick up too many, so I'm not sure if.
I caught myself when I said that. So I counted.
I can't really think of anything to critique you on. I thought it was pretty good.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
I agree with Simon that you've asked a question, but you've answered the question yourself. That was a missed opportunity to let actually someone speak, because you were saying, why do you think that is? And then there was a small pause, and then I was hoping that you were pointing to someone, and then you've answered the question yourself. So that was a bit of a missed opportunity. You should have probably asked more people, especially for a topic like this, because it would give you the time to think about. For instance, and this is what also this exercise is about, when you do a presentation and you engage the audience and you let them speak for 20, 30 seconds, that gives you the idea to think about your next step, because they're doing the hard work all of a sudden, and you have the break you can actually think of. So this is probably something we all should consider next time when we have a presentation. Use your audience to give you a break. Yeah. The exercise was fantastic. I also had an idea, like Jean, after the second question, okay, that's the reason why I've mentioned, I know where she's going with this, because it is all so stereotypical. A CEO, male; nurse, female; engineer, male. Why? Yeah. So that was also a bit of a missed opportunity to ask someone, why do you think that is? Why do you think that when I ask you, picture a CEO, why do you think a male? Is it because there are so many out there, and so forth? So that's that. As for the arm counters, there weren't really many, to be honest. There was not really much where I would say, oh yeah, this is something you have to work on. So not at all. So job well done.
Thank you so much.